like Elephant with this 16th, 17th pick, they've gone for a little bit of also late game scalability. Queen of Pain's got one of the best attack times, and then giving her that late game blood loss, we can see her transition a little bit more into a right click threat.
And who knows, if the game goes to 72 minutes, maybe you can get that Pirate Hat and go Divine Rapier and have a fantastic time.
That's it, yeah. So what are we looking for the answer here? IG, if they want to leave JT's hero for 24th, something you said they like to do often, but, against not the greatest counters in the Timber, they have at least the break with Hoodwink. Pop with Sonic Wave, pretty decent too, at least for some pure damage, but they don't have a real Spirit Vessel carrier at the moment.
10 seconds remaining.
Hoodwink probably can get away with it, but I feel like by the time you get it, Timbersaur's going to have some kind of way to deal with it, whether that be a Yules or a Lotus or something along those lines. And then don't forget you've got a Tusk. Like, if the positioning from Tusk, whoever's going to play it, whether it's Oli or Kaka, if they're able to get a snowball off to interrupt, honestly, even one of Queen of Pain's spells, it doesn't even need to be the Sonic Wave. I feel like you're just not going to kill this Timbersaur, at least in the first 25 minutes.
Does feel like, though, they're probably going to have to ban Ursa along with Monkey. Oh, okay, well, they're both banned, so never mind. This pick looks really good now for Timber. Ursa ban, Monkey ban, Slark ban, some of the really good matchups versus the Timber. Razor, a good lane matchup, but Ogre's got a stun. I feel like they're still, I don't know, I feel like you'd be a little bit better with another support in that Timber lane. You can go for, I know you said Gyro's not looking too good, but Gyrocopter with the magic damage against Timber, but they are a bit squishy if they go down that route.
I'm still a fan of
Radiant team ban.
The Coalition is kind of rough, right? Because you're against a Silencer, and that's just going to stack up those Arcade Curse stacks. It feels like they're just banning out A, everything that's good against the Timbersaur, and B, everything that might have beaten the Timbersaur in the previous games of the I-League. Because you remember in that Vici versus Asta game, the Troll Warlord, eventually, if you were able to get the initial root and then stuns onto the Timber, you could burst him down. Yep. You had the damage once it got to the super late stages of the game, so just wanting to deal with that in that way, I suppose. Razor gone too. Timber's got a pretty... I mean, they're doing their job for him, basically. Yeah. They're banning out a lot of these heroes that they just wanted to have anyway.
Oh man, what's left now? I mean, you could go Bloodseeker. I believe he still has the shard that gives in % damage with the Blood Rage, I believe. I don't know if they've changed it.
OD is basically the only other thing I can think of, but then I'm worried about being able to take towers.
Quap can transition into a tower hitter, and Tide can as well. So I think usually you wouldn't want that, but with an Ogre, it enables the Quap, and Tide we saw in yesterday's series go for the Aghanim Shard and was their tower sieger. So I think you can go down that route potentially. So it's gonna, at least they have a melee Ogre to enable the potential range on the OD. Blood loss, he's always reliant on his consistent attacks. There's the Bloodseeker ban, because you want to stack up the Arcane Orb to get that max mana.
And pure damage just rips through a Timbersaur. So it's exactly what you need to try and deal with him. That's why they got rid of the Bloodseeker. Of course, Timber Chain obviously very useless as long as you've got the Rupture on top of you.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm kind of feeling it, but I'm also not, right? Because you are very vulnerable if a Tusk goes on to you and they just go super heavy into ganking.
Luna.
I mean, it's a good split between physical and magic damage.
Boring. Give me something.
Boring.
Give me something juicy that could deal with the Timber.
There is still a couple of newish heroes though, right? Quap, Silencer, they were not picked at all before. Hell, even the Tusk has made a bit of a return.
5 seconds remaining.
So now, Terrorblade's not banned.
Does look...
Nothing much was changed about him other than, what, like 4 seconds lower on meta, I think, is the only big change that he had.
Let's see.
Drow Ranger. Choose your hero.
On his Agi gain as well, actually.
Okay. They they only have one person to put in front of the Drow.
Drow, huh?
You got Save in Tusk.
Honestly, pretty good Drow game.
Yeah.
Nothing that they have is going to get in onto the front lines. Even if Yang does, it's just a gust away and then you can run.
Yeah, you're gonna outrange Luna. My only concern, the only way that they ever put Drow in a position where she isn't going to feel strong as the game goes on is if they can pick her off multiple times off the back of FY and Somnus Snowball in this game. Those two heroes have to get a lot of pickoffs on Fly. Otherwise, I really feel like this Drow is going to get to a stage where, like you said, how do you get on top of her? Tide probably they're going to need double Ravage to burst her through that stage, and that's late game at best. So,
well, they shouldn't be able to kill Drow before Tide has Blink Dagger, and you typically don't want to rush Blink Dagger on Tide anymore. You need some kind of way to, progress out of the laning stage. Probably a second item Blink would be totally fine, but until that point, I mean, Tide Blink and Quap BKB are the big items that they're going to be playing for, right? Because Drow is just going to be able to sit back, do whatever the hell she wants. If you're just walking in, then you can just pop the Global Silence. If you're going in as the Queen of Pain, again, Global Silence, you're screwed. You get Chain Lockdown. And hell, even if they've got a Kaka here, if he gets into something like a Lotus Orb late game, he's going to be able to purge off the Silence onto him and then just try and turn things around.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it was quite the last pick here for Fly. We've seen a lot of emphasis on them giving that 24th pick over to JT, but this time, Fly's Drow Ranger, it is something that he as well has looked incredibly comfortable on, through his time as a position 1. It's a double range lane, so maybe Elephant can look to punish that. I mean, a Tide with a hero that does decent right click. I mean, the Hoodwink 52, it's nothing to shy on, so maybe that Gush minus armor could be nice.
It could, but again, like, it feels like, you mentioned it, the Drow outranges the Luna, right? So she's always going to do a good job. Hell, the Drow outranges everyone, basically, on this team. She's just going to amplify that by building into a lot more ranged items. If she gets a Grove Bow, GG, essentially, because Elephant are going to need to run into her. So it's just about how they're set up to make sure that you can't get this backstab, this completely unknown rotation in onto the Drow Ranger. You need to try and force IG to pop Global Silence before Quap uses BKB. If it happens the other way around, where you're BKBing, jumping in, and then they use the Global Silence, IG should win the fight.
So we feel like, once again, there's a lot of emphasis on what the supports are able to do this game in the fights.
I may be a bit biased because I am
a support player,
Mr. Support, but I mean, it just feels like they've been, I don't want to say undervalued for so long, but they need more value,
Okay, this
Give
is
me my time in the sun.
I mean, we have seen the back-to-back days on how much the supports have been doing, though. Like, legitimately, they are taking over fights and doing such an incredible job. And speak mid lane real quick. Somnus, he made sure he didn't pull the creeps under the tower after that first wave split, so he's going to be able to hold the creep equilibrium instead of it returning to the middle, which allows him to CS under tower and should get some free gold and free experience here.
I don't think you're ever worried about how the early laning stage is going to go, though, as this Queen of Pain. She's almost got enough to be able to build into the bottle, but the sustain's always going to be really nice against the Storm Spirit.
So how would you feel like the comparison between the position ones is going to be this game in the lane? We did see this last pick. Drow Ranger looks very convincing for us on paper. Do we feel like maybe she might be pressured in the lane and this is where Elephant can come out ahead, or should we be worried about Eurus's lane?
I wouldn't be worried about Eurus's lane, but Karka's been doing a really good job just bullying him a little bit, making sure that he's not able to get these completely free CSs, just walking the creep wave through the small camp as well, making sure to block that one off. So you're going to have a decent enough start here on JT. Even able to secure that range creep. I don't think Super caught the fact that it was aggroed into the hard camp, so nicely done there.
See this lower mana as well with the Ignite. Again, we're seeing an Ogre not really bring out a whole lot of mana regen. In fact, it's mainly just the sustain and a couple branches that we've been seeing from the Ogre throughout the past couple of days after the 7.3 introduction.
You're one of the good ones.
It's so effective though, Ignite. Now the fact that it uses the other random unit on it as well, you're basically getting the inbuilt multicast, you're getting the lower cooldown, sorry, not lower cooldown, lower mana cost. It's just so much burst super early on, especially if you can go into something like a Veil.
Top lane.
Karka, rotation top.
Super early movement. They really want to enable Fly. They recognize maybe that Yang and FY can make his lane a little bit difficult with this Gush and the double range duo that they have at the moment. And, you know, Karka as well. You really want to leave Timber alone early on so he can pick up these levels. And JT still, maybe it's, you know, we'll see if it might be a bit early on though, you know, until he kind of gets another point in reactive armor, then he can be the real self-sufficient Timber laner, but, you know, might just result in JT to try and cut the wave.
It's actually something that I didn't even think about, the synergy between the Drow and the Silencer, right? You get the Arcane Curse, now the change in 7.3 deals double damage and slow when the target is silenced. You just need that one value point in the Gust, and then suddenly people are taking a lot of damage and not able to get away at all, combined with the Frost Arrows, of course.
They are still continuing to keep Karka here, so I love this. Just, again, leaving the Timber. I mean, it's just so incredibly important to have the Timbersaw by himself. Like, this is a hero that really relies on having high levels, and then you not really need any assistance after that as Yang. I mean, he's moving forward. At least the tag team now expires, and it is still going to continue to get difficult to kill Yang as he's got 2 points in the Kraken Shell now.
Nothing to it, really.
Super's just
The big thing for
standing on
me
a
is,
high
like,
ground
what do you
mid.
get in exchange, right?
Are
Like,
fortified.
what is the actual trade-off to the fact that you're leaving this Timbersaw down the bottom side with no contest? Emo's just stuck in here.
She's just
Who's
dead.
stuck with
Yeah.
who?
I don't think Ogre cares as long as they get the kill on Emo, and they will. And Super's got a Salve and a Fire Blast to play with. Doesn't get that one off fast enough, unfortunately. And now it leaves Yang. Enables him to get a kill onto Karka before he dies. Still Fly will get the rebuttal.
I think Flyfly's happy with taking the extra experience, to be honest.
Yeah, no doubt here.
So, I mean, the fact that he stayed around, you got a kill onto the Storm Spirit, which is great, but even more intelligence and some -2s happening for the Silencer, of course. I don't think they were even able to secure both water runes there. Emo ended up getting one of them
Eurus
before his death.
He's in trouble down bot. 2 points Timber Chain. He's going to try and play away from the tree line, but he knows the inevitable. I'll just check. He well and truly knows the inevitable is he's running underneath the tier 1 tower, and Super even falls to Emo and Oli. This was pre-level 6 on the Storm, so the lane's going much better this game for Invictus Gaming.
Ollie's popping off. He's got 3 kills already, involved in 3. Kind of feels like he's been involved in 4, but he's going to have that valuable little bit of extra intelligence once he skills up a point into the Glaives of Wisdom. Doesn't need it yet, but man, the value is there for sure. He just wants to make the most use out of this last word Arcane Curse combo. It's if you haven't played into it, it's crazy how much surprising damage that it does. You know, like the double when you have the Arcane Curse onto you, it's a lot. Double is a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. And then you've also got maybe the potential Orchid getting picked up from Emo at some stage, so we will see how the potential extra Arcane Curse damage is going to fare, but unfortunately for Fly, will be brought down here. Somnus getting active early, looking to really try and hunt down the Dry Ranger as much as possible.
It was lag, of course.
Yes.
I mean, it took 3 people to do that, though, right? Like, Ollie, he was pulling a wave in the time. It was the worst possible wave, small camp that he could get. The kobolds that can't even kill a single range creep. So it's a good rotation. And the farm on the Quap as well as the Luna, it's looking pretty heavy. And, you know, you can understand it on the Quap. The Luna, I feel like she I don't really even think you need to be bullying Eurus, but I think trading 1-for-1 with a Timbersaw is okay for both teams. Like, they're kind of satisfied with how this bottom lane is going. It's just, what can you do to exploit that beyond then? Maybe expecting that the Drow might have had a bit of a better start to the game. So I wonder when Drow comes back, probably going to look to hit up into that level 5. Very, very close right now. And then I'm sure Silencer will look to join her. Hell, if he can get to level 5 as well, that is a whole lot of extra damage that could be coming out. Has that value point in the Gust, of course. I'd be scared.
I don't know if IG can... Oh, sorry, if Elephant can bring extra heroes down bot. I feel it feels like you really need the Queen of Pain Sonic wave to burst through JT. Yeah, Eurus is out. Okay, so it looks like super... Like, alright, I'll just get me some solo experience. Why not?
Like, just TP straight back on into a bushwhack. He should be fine, though. The thing is, though, like, with Yang, he's got the 2 points in the Kraken Shell. That's plenty to be able to just, you know... Alright, see you later.
Bottom tower is under attack.
To purge off any kind of silences onto you, right? You don't care all that much. So Yang can position himself a little bit more aggressively. See, FY, he's already got the Urn of Shadows. He was able to get it before the Boots of Speed, which is great. Didn't cost him any deaths as well, so he's having a great start to the game.
Yeah, we saw what FY could do in game 1 on his Earthshaker. You know, potentially the same fate now on a different kind of playstyle on the Hoodwink. He's even got the Meteor Hammer as well queued up for Hood.
Arcane Curse, level 3. I'm just waiting for this first big team fight to break out, but again, like, you just can't really use it on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, both teams have this incredibly survivable offlaner who is going to be a formidable wall that's really difficult to impermeate as the game goes on. I mean, JT already, what is he, level 7, maxed out reactive armor, Tidehunter. It's only level 5, so definitely not having, you know, at least levels-wise, as good of a time. Top River. Queen of Pain silenced up, but luckily enough, had the faster fingers to be able to pick up the haste. Unfortunately, though, for FY, it gets wrapped on from Kaka.
You suck.
See that Somnus? Getting a little bit eager there. That sentry is in range of the Observer Ward. Looking to bully him away a little bit. Doesn't end up landing on anyone.
This haste's about to wear off. Okay.
But yeah, like in that fight where the Hoodwink died, there were a lot of spills that went off, right? You would say that Emo might have done a fair chunk of the damage. Emo ended up doing 240 damage. Silencer, just with Last Word and Arcane Curse, did 920.
Oh, wow. Yeah, crazy.
It's a lot of damage, I'm telling you.
It's going to continue stacking up once they hit the levels and you're ready. They're looking for a smoke up top, though. Still yet to take this first tower. The only issue is that maybe Timber might TP top. He's a little bit shy in the mana department at the moment, but he's an incredible kind of Guardian-esque hero.
The Jukes.
Oh, Ollie.
Gets away.
Dire's structures are
Beautifully done, and so looks like with him giving up his position, he's still got a couple of reinforcements looking to protect this tier 1 tower.
Alright, Kaka, I like the Blink Dagger. I hate what you've got queued up after that.
Again. It's...
I don't see it. I'm sorry.
There we go. Timber's coming.
Timber's coming.
Here's the Guardian.
I'll take that.
Yang. Oh, nice attempt.
Again, I don't think you're killing the Tide, though. They still need to make this wraparound happen, as they're trying to now. Smoke coming up from IG, Kaka and Ollie, looking to join together with Fly as they move towards the mid lane, perhaps, trying to get the pull in onto Somnus. If you can get the Arcane Curse and then the Last Word onto him, he should die.
Somnus.
Oh,
there's the ultimate used, and now with Emo as well following up, they should have the Vortex just after the silence expires, and Yang always thinking about pump faking the ultimate here, but yeah, there's no damage really in the tank without the Queen of Pain up.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Silencer nearly did 600 damage. Just from using a couple of spells. Doesn't have any Glaives of Wisdom.
Radiant's
and he just continues to build up.
Attack.
Every single time this you know, these heroes like the Queen of Pain die as well, that is intelligence lost. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, some damage. Mana pool, pretty important as well. Just trying to set up on Eurus. Kind of surprised that Luna's not playing at the triangle camp at the moment to find that ancient farm, but she feels content with playing the dead lane at the moment.
Kaka going to be able to get away though. Pretty speedy as a Tusk, good
Radiant's
base
top
movement
tower
speed,
is under
and of course
attack.
he's got the Tranquil Boots as well, so the Lucent Beam on its own wasn't enough to be able to slow him down. Took an extra right click beyond that. Bring himself up to level 6 as well with this creep wave.
Kaka.
Radiant's top tower is under
Trouble.
attack.
Not a lot of damage to the from the sharpshooter, but with super blocking off any escape capability, Kaka will inevitably fall. It's just gonna waste as much time as possible. As FY will pick it up, but now, I mean, with all two heroes showing, but Invictus Gaming with this catapult wave and even Fly looking to get involved early if they really want to try and put as much damage on the tier 1 mid as they can.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm not sure if it's a good decision or not, as they make the rotation eventually come through here from FY. Are they going to be able to get a nice...
What a
Yes, they can.
bushwhack! Sits up through a 3-man Sonic Wave, but the damage, it looks like it wasn't enough, and now they can turn back. Emo zips on the Queen of Pain. Kaka's going to look through Oli. They need to take up the sharpshooter. Looks like it doesn't even matter as Emo can deny Fly. Man, was looking like a picture-perfect start to the fight for Elephant. Maybe Yank wants to drop the Ravage, but his silence afterwards and an even better dodge in the Snowball. It's all been the support show so far through this series as Kaka dodging the Ravage.
Now, there was nothing wrong with that setup by
Radiant's
FY
top
either.
tower
Landing a
has fallen.
3-hero bushwhack, making the good rotation through as well. What I was talking about before with Super, they were dealing a lot of damage to the tower, and what I liked about it was that he ran from the bottom side. He ran from around the outpost to the mid lane during the duration of the glyph. They still ended up losing about, I'd say, a third of the tower's damage, but that means that he still has the ability to use this town portal scroll if he needed to help his Luna when he's farming.
Timber? It should fall here. He was very antsy. I was watching this fight with a keen eye, seeing if they could really bring him down, but it kind of just stuck around for a bit too long, and the really important heroes from Elephant with their control and with their burst converged in the area.
Just standard Luna things, you know? Getting those Moonglaves up, especially important now that they reduce the damage that each successive one does by about 6%. So the fact that Eurus has been able to still be comfortably about 1,000 gold ahead on the net worth charts is looking real good for him. And, you know, he's getting to the point where...
Oh, instant global. They're jumping mid, though. Once again, they're on top of Somnus, and the Queen of Pain doesn't have anything defensive, with still the Yule Scepter not completed. But Elephant, they're looking to bring the reinforcements. Unfortunately, though, without the big counter initiation in the Ravage, they're unable to turn it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yay. Just chilling. Man, JT is...
Radiant's middle
They don't give a
tower
damn
is
about
under
no
attack.
towers.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I just want to see the Silencer put 1 point into the Glaives, I'll be honest.
Can they burst Yane? They're gonna try.
Radiant
Snowball in
structures are
further and
fortified.
further. Could not pop. That's, I mean, gonna do nothing against JT. Kaka with the TP up. They've got the cancel in FY, but it's a big kill to pick up.
You could take it.
It just doesn't feel like this Silence is being pressured at all, to be honest. Like, you're a position 5, and he's had the ability to just go into the power treads. He's got a fluffy hat. He's probably going to go into something like a 4-staff and enable himself and his team to scale quite well.
Yeah, we saw last game that Ollie was the bottom net worth out of everyone, and I mean his counterpart position 5 on the side of Elephant Super had like 6,000 net worth, compared to like the 2,500 on Ollie in that game 1. But now it's completely different. Now it's Ollie that's lacking behind tier on the Ogre, as to be expected of those heroes. Doesn't really farm fast at all. Looking for the Veil. We'll see how this can help out some of the spell damage amplification as they're looking to jump JT.
That's a big
They'll have
curse.
to break now with the Eclipse as well. Is it going to be enough for the Silence, however, allowing him to escape, and now JT actually makes it back to safety.
I was thinking maybe he might pop the Ravage, but he just doesn't have his teammates there to be able to assist. That was a 4-man arcane curse there by the Silencer. Very nice positioning again from Ollie. Just getting that big movement slow
Dire's
in
middle
onto
tower
people.
is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
And that was without the global. Like,
The
if they look to take a team
Emo?
fight right now, this could
Wait,
be
Emo,
really
they've
good.
caught him out of the river once again with their war position. He hasn't zipped away just yet, still standing his ground on a minimal amount of health. The Ravage flies after the ultimate, and now with the Sonic Wave as well, it's not enough damage again. Radiant, they don't have anything left in the tank. As Eurus relying on the Mask of Madness movement speed to reset here, but JT continuing to hunt. Piggy's pretty mobile, down to the southern side though still. Yang is on the front line here. I mean, he's a tanky Tide Hunter, but without the heroes to enable this tankiness and fulfill the damage that is missing, Invictus Gaming can clean up. Oh, nice
FY.
bushwhack from
What a
FY.
god.
I got a problem with
Just going to look for a TP out. JT, no answer. We are seeing some big damage issues though from Radiant. Like another great Ravage into Sonic Wave, and they're still not being able to kill these heroes.
Again, that was another 1400 damage dealt by your position 5 Silencer in that fight. He got the global silence off, of course, but he follows that off with the Arcane Curse. It just deals an insane amount of damage, and he's not level 10 yet. I'm positive that he's going to go into that plus 15 Arcane Curse damage. It scales so well.
With how much Ollie has been putting into these fights and into this game, it's helped Invictus Gaming have 1,000 net worth lead at the moment. JT just getting out of dodge. It's a hefty rotation from Radiant. I guess, shining spot for Elephant is that they do have an incredibly farmed Luna, top of the net worth, highest amount of last hits in the game as well. Eurus working on the BKB. How do you feel like, maybe Luna's timings can turn this back around for Elephant?
I mean, the Luna's timing is heavily based around the fact that now she's got some farm, right? She's disassembling her Dragonlance. She's got a BKB now, so much more capable of fighting. Had used the... Did she use the Eclipse previously to try and kill the Timbersaw? Is that why she didn't have it for that team fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so didn't have that, of course, and they were caught in this area around the bottom side of the river. Pretty heavy choke point. Ravage was used, but if they have that potential as well to just be able to stand and fight, it's very different, right? And now you've got the BKBs coming up against the likes of this Silencer. So even though, Ollie's been playing a fantastic game so far, and these BKBs come online, things are going to be a lot more difficult. And Somnus opting to go the Yule Scepter first before the Orchid. So just realizing how important it is to be able to break out of that and have some kind of escape.
They've got
There's the
global.
Orchid. All right.
Okay.
They're not going to continue the chase, I guess. Bit of a misplay there.
Radiant did not smoke to get the kill on Karkar. Now, do they have one on on Super? They do. Somnus, yeah, still a bit behind his next item. Yang as well. I wonder if they actually just walk down mid and don't even care about a smoke. They don't have the greatest vision at the moment, but knowing the global's on cooldown, it looks like they're not too worried.
Yeah, you can see how confident they are. Like, Eurus even walking in from the backside. Could they Roche with this?
Yeah, I was just
honestly
gonna
think they
say
can.
that. 3 points blood loss, -3 armor in the gush. Huh. I mean, they've got
Meteor
Ravage.
hammer on your hoodwink.
Nope, yep, dope. Dire.
Radiant are
But JT's
standing.
coming over. Looking to scout this, Roshan.
Radiant's
Not very
bottom
low at the
tower is
moment,
under
so Elephant,
attack.
you're going to have to take a full 5-on-5 fight to claim the prize of the ages.
I'd still look to take it if I'm being honest. Like, they can get the Fey Grenade. Really nice item, actually. Might go for the smoke here. Give it over to the Queen of Pain. Who gives it over to someone else.
FY. Maybe he can start, because Yang's still without the blink. They're going to wrap all the way on the high ground.
Dire's top
Who
The
tower
can
advantage
find,
with this
though?
Luna as well. The additional
Radiant's
1,000.
courier has
Oh,
been killed.
they know the general direction they're in with that courier going down because
Radiant's
of
bottom
Karkar. So
tower.
Karkar's getting
immediately
another.
making their
Oh,
way.
okay, no mind, he didn't get another. Eurus, yeah,
I
here's
think
his
Ollie's
night
here to
time.
break the smoke.
This is great if they can catch Ollie. JT nearby, some heroes in the back line. They don't get any more out of it, though. I mean, they do see Fly with that lane ward. Maybe that kill might allow them to go back in Roche. So usually you wouldn't be happy with just a support, but if it enables you to take Roche, which it looks like it doesn't. So, okay, kill on Ollie. You can argue now not worth it.
I mean, I feel like they had a much greater window to be able to take Roche previously, right? You had multiple heroes dead for that amount of time, and they just didn't choose to use it. Not sure what they were afraid of, to be honest. You know, closed in area, that's where you want to be using the likes of your Ravage, your Eclipse, your Sonic Wave. Hell, even the Bushwhack. There's plenty of trees. You don't even need to use the Acorn Shot.
A team fight though, maybe a bigger Ravage can come through. That we've already seen some incredible Ravages from Yang, but you know the damage follow-up is yeah, he's got that blink, so we'll get a whole lot easier now for him.
It's all about finding the Drow. That is his role. Find the Drow, see if you can get onto him. If you're able to catch the Tusk and the Silencer as well, fantastic. They probably should be playing around the same sort of region as the Drow Ranger too. So there is a big window opened up now for Elephant to be able to come back into this game.
But if
not that they're super out of it.
They're not 1,000 gold, but their previous team fights, like it's been top lane Kaka, dodges the meteor. Why? Uh-oh, he's in trouble now. I mean, Emo's wasted a lot of mana. You see how difficult it is to catch the Hoodwink if you don't find him initially.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gonna have to reveal himself in this mid lane, Yang. See if anyone's got their eyes on him to make sure that Blink Dagger is scouted out.
Firefly and Kaka trying to jump Eurus. Really far away from the outpost. Eurus he doesn't want to BKB TP, and they found the multi-shot volleys. But rest of Radiant are coming. They don't have Somnus just yet, but he's incredibly mobile.
Available.
They don't have Emo as well. TP on cooldown for another 35. They'll cancel Yang's blink, and just the hesitation. No one wants to jump this game, and Knife's Edge.
I just had a quick look at Somnus farming in the mid lane. I'm like, level 13? That seems a little low. And I mean, he's just been able to bring up level 14, but still feeling a little bit behind where the Storm Spirit's been. I suppose that's the result of a few of these team fight disadvantages, as well as giving all the farm over to Eurus.
Yeah, it really does feel like still the Queen of Pain has always been a hero. You've got like this death quota. If you die more than a couple times, then mid lane jump in. Doesn't have his own BKB. Yang not able to drop the Ravage because of the global silence, but again, another big ultimate from the silencer wasted, and it looks like Elephant continuing on with the team fight. Brawling down the middle lane, but Firefly, beautiful silence onto 2. And now Radiant, they've got to be careful. Where's the follow-up? They'll drop the Ravage, stopping the Meteor Hammer is going to be Emo, but now still they can blink on forward. Firefly is protected with the BKB, however. So Yang will attempt the TP out. Is the stun lock there? It's not. Emo, the Vortex, unfortunately, on cooldown. A fight they took without Eurus.
It was, and it was at the expense of the Ravage. I really feel like you need to be using the Ravage and the Eclipse together, and the fact that they weren't able to get an advantageous take from that team fight means that, again, Roshan has opened up, but this time it's for IG. They might still be hesitant about wanting to take it, though, without the global silence.
Eurus, has he been farming up to level 18? So 3 points in the Eclipse, long zip in. They're going to try and bring down the Tide. He's still got the hood, finally pops it. He's so survivable. Now with the Eclipse, look at the damage. It'll kill off Kaka, but he's getting controlled at the moment. Finally popping the BKB. They'll turn to deal with Firefly.
Nice,
he's so far away from the team. Firefly will fall. Eurus is finally able to deal with his counterpart position 1. Oli will attempt the TP up, but they've got the Yule. Somnus blinking directly on top of the TP point to cancel it. And finally, a big fight for Radiant, and they should be able to lead this into the Roche pit.
Finally. They won't have the gush, but they should have the damage beyond that. Although Eurus, he doesn't seem keen on doing it yet either.
They want to farm.
Just wanting to back off. I mean, it's what you do best as a Lunar, I suppose, but it always just feels like they're passing off on a fantastic opportunity. That fight could have gone even worse if not for the amazing 4-star coming through. Again, I know I sound like an Ollie fanboy, but he was able to get the Timbersaw out of harm's way, made sure that he dodged the Sonic Wave and didn't tick out to that Orchid. So could have been a 4-for-1 instead of a 3-for-1.
It's understandable. You know, when you play a specific role, you're always going to favor them. You're a support fanboy. I get it. You know, whenever they make nice plays, you got to call it out. It kind of just gives you a nice feeling inside you. I get it. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Anything else coming out? All right, so Super did kind of go what I was expecting. He went into the Veil of Discord, which I love. You know, a huge part of your team fight is based around this magic damage. Surprisingly enough, it's not based around his own. He's looking to buff up the Luna as much as possible with a Bloodlust, essentially acting like a Magnus, and with the Empower. But Ignite only at level 1 feels like you're missing out on a big opportunity for a lot of increased damage in these team fights. Even 2 points is a lot more substantial.
Emo? Can they kill him at the moment?
Here I am.
9-second BKB. They're trying to catch out FY top. They'll attempt the TP. Snowball. Whoa. I don't know if that was a long TP or if he just clipped him on the last millisecond, but Kaka nonetheless. Nice little kill to find on FY, who's been very slippery.
I've been a fan of how IG has been going about this. I really don't want to see the Ags on the Tusk. I think it's nearly throw territory.
I have to imagine, we saw it the other day, I have to imagine this is a thing through scrims. It's just, I don't personally know why he's going for the Ag Scepter. It just has to be something they're seeing through scrims, and it's doing well for them in that regard. Zip in, Emo, they've caught out the Queen of Pain. Yours may be able to disrupt them once again. A Snowball dodges the Ravage on 2 heroes, and they can stun lock through the Quap before the Yours to disrupt the Silence. Now Yang's the target. A force to safety, but JT is not going to let them get away that easy. They're still backing up forward here.
They're tempted to try and
Jump
get rid
in
of this
again
They jump
on
in
top
again.
of Eurus. Can they burst him down 4-0? Yes, sir, they can. No BKB available. Super also burnt to a crisp.
All right, so if the game ends before he could go for the Ags on the Tide, then, you know, we're all good. The only thing I can think of is maybe you want to, kick away the Luna as she's ulting, you know? So that the Eclipse is wasted.
Yep. Oh, Roshan now in the arsenal for the boys on Invictus Gaming. Emo, best Aegis carrier in the Storm, picks it up. Silver's Edge completed for Firefly. A lot more kill potential on your Tide. And, well, they've also found FY. Kaka, perfect use of the shards, no escape for the pesky Hoodwink.
It really feels like for IG to have a solid chance in this game, JT needed to play an amazing game, and he did. You know, he's been creating a ton of space for his team, just standing on the front lines, making sure that he's that gap between, between Elephant and the Drow Ranger, putting himself in harm's way.
Are they gonna?
And you know,
they're actually gonna try something, but Mass TP's in, Fly. He does have Kaka nearby. He can just instantly blink and snowball. They need to find the Tusk. I don't see how this works. And oh, maybe that's a lot of okay, the snowball. It's not fast enough. They pushed him away from the high ground. Oh my God, Somnus. That was such a highly executed play. They almost find Ollie, so he jumps behind the Drow, Sonic Wave to push him further away of maybe the Tusk not in range for the blink.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. And, you know, these players, they're human at the end of the day. It would have been an insane save if he was able to get that one off. But, well, not meant to be. These little plays like that, though, that's what you need if you're going to claw your way back into this. I'm sure Elephant, IG is such a strong opponent. Elephant have already lost 1 series so far. They don't want to be going 0-2.
Yeah, and for the boys of Invictus Gaming as well, they're currently sitting 1-1, so they want to try and find their second win in the group stages, further cement their place around the top. And get into the tier 3 neutral item territory, but an incredibly back and forth second game at 1,000 net worth lead for Invictus Gaming. How are we still feeling like either team is going to fare as this game goes on? Is anyone more comfortable than the other at the moment?
I think it depends how late it goes. I feel like you have the potential to come back into this on IG if it goes super late and the Silencer starts to become a core in his own right. You know, he's already built up about 1/3 of the sheepstick, and, you know, you're only just going to get stronger and stronger as this game continues to go back and forth, of course, with the permanent intelligence stolen.
Yeah, potentially double global silence could be so impactful, but Yeah, that's another thing for Radiant as well. Double Ravage could be so clutch through these fights. We've just seen how chaotic fights can get with multiple Ravages, and late game Dota is something China thrive on, and that's where we see all these team fight ultimates come into play. So is there a team though late game where they will have the better team fight? Like, is it Radiant, Ravage, Eclipse, Sonic Wave, or, you know, Dire? It really just feels like it's maybe just the Global Silence with potentially an Ags Vortex on Storm.
Well, the Global Silence is always going to have the weakness versus the BKBs, right? You're always going to be able to get out of it. If the Ravage is on point, like if you're standing right on top of people, it takes superhuman reaction speed to be able to BKB in time. So I feel like Elephant are going to have a slight edge in that regard, but I mean, it's not easy, man.
Radiant's top
Not at all.
is under attack.
Down bot. FY
Dire's bottom tower
will
is
get
under
caught out
attack.
here, Emo. A freebie for him. FY trying to do some shenanigans, but they got to be careful top now. They know Emo used a lot of mana for that kill, and he can't rejoin the team if the fight does break out.
Well, he's got a regen use though. He's making his way. He'll hide somewhat in the trees. They're like, how the hell did he get here already? Oh,
Radiant's
goddamn
top
regen.
tower is under attack.
He's also Bloodstone completed. Wow. So really farmed the Storm. It's just a polar opposite performance here from Emo
Radiant
Storm Spirit
structures
in
are
this game
fortified.
compared to game 1.
He's
yeah.
gone in super deep.
Oh, okay. That's even deeper on Karkar. Do they smoke up instantly? Roshan still long time till the respawn. I mean, in fact, they still have the ages on the Storm Spirit.
FY scurrying through the trees there, trying to catch out anyone. JT is going to be able to get away in time. That's actually a smoke coming out from IG, looking to potentially turn things around.
Oh, Eurus is not connected with them. Eurus isn't there at the moment. Emo's going to jump in straight on top of F5 once again. Storm Spirit hating the hoodwink. Looks like the silence going to take him out, but the Aegis getting popped as well. But Emo with the BKB, zipping consistently on the backline, trying to hunt out Somnus. He's got so much mana. Like, he's only used half his mana pool now.
Yeah, and that Bloodstone's going to make it come back pretty damn fast. Ollie.
Oh, they're going to be careful. The break is out. Tidehunter now incredibly vulnerable as Emo jumps further on the backline. The Global Silence enabling. But now the Storm's got 0 mana to play with. Sonic Wave, Eclipse drop. The crits are coming through from Eurus. A couple more right clicks. Kills off Timber. A big kill to find.
And just baiting, getting them closer and closer towards those areas where you can get these big team fight ultimates off. Wasn't able to get the Ravage on JT, but... Oh, sorry, not on JT. Is it on JT? Yang, sorry. my mind's blanking a little bit here, but still, able to turn things around, take out
Dire's
2 of the
middle
more
tower
important
is under
cores, and
attack.
I mean, that's the
Dire are
downside of making
scanning.
these solo, super deep plays.
Wait,
on the
Eurus?
Storm.
Uh-oh, Eurus up top. Let's see, maybe if he can lifesteal through the damage, the chain lockdown, and the burst from Flyfly's crits. Too much to handle. Back and forth we go, continuing in this second game.
And it's going to get to the point where it's like, you know, what does the Luna really build into beyond a certain point? You can see here he's going the Hurricane Pike to be able to get, you know, that little bit of distance away from the likes of a Tusk. Of course, that extra range is going to be nice. Combined, who's already got the Dragon Lance. And you're going to be able to go into the Satanic instead of the Mask of Madness. So you're able to just stand and man fight a little bit more. I kind of wonder if he should go into the Satanic a bit earlier, right? Because it means you don't have to pop the BKB to stop the Global Silence. You could just use the basic Dispel component of Satanic
Dire's structures
for that.
are fortified.
I don't hate either. Like you're saying, the Satanic gives you incredible value. Yang? Man, oh man. Hurricane Pike as well is great versus these little nuisances in the slows. You know, the Drow with the Frost Arrows, the Silencer, big issues as well. So, yeah, maybe just further helping with his positioning. And it's also going to tank him up. So potentially, you know, then you can get BKB, Mask of Madness, and maybe lifesteal up a respectable amount where you can stand your ground.
It's been a long time as well since Flyfly's gotten any new item. You know, he was 5 slotted, Then he went into a Windlace just because,
Radiant's
you know, it's a
bottom
value
tower
item
is
before he
under
chooses
attack.
on his next one.
Yep.
He's opting for the Skadi. Real value against the Queen of Pain as well as the Luna. So once he picks that up, his effectiveness is going to... Well, not necessarily his effectiveness, but the Luna's effectiveness is going to drop quite heavily.
And also, I mean, Yang, pretty survivable, limiting a little bit of his HP regen. Doesn't have the greatest. Once Lotus Orb's completed, it'll get better. But also, Yang's very heavy committal. You're going to blink in, drop Ravage. If Fly can pop BKB instantly and then turn, then the Tide, maybe you can force stuff away. But even then, after that, you're slowed down to an oblivion. So, you know, all these items, I mean, we are just, again, a knife's edge here in this second game. I mean, it's been, there's been... The highest lead has been just over the 4K mark for IG. It's been nothing higher at all. What a close game we've had.
For me, that Lotus Orb, it's
Dire's
specifically to
top
protect the
tower
Queen
is
of
under
Pain.
attack.
You know, she's the one that wants to be casting spells constantly. She's the one that needs the protection against the silence. And you know, you don't want to be popping a BKB super early into these team fights if you quap. Just leaves you so vulnerable. Well,
Radiant are
IG,
scanning.
they're making another smoke play. Going for the big team fight plays now as Emo, as he starts building into his own Aghanim Scepter. Only, well, he's finished it now on Kaka. It's happening. The Tusk Ags is happening.
All right, well...
I hate it.
we'll see. I mean, we'll see what it can do. Maybe just to cut someone out of a
Radiant's bottom
fight
tower is under attack.
and, you know, disrupt their positioning.
Still no Roche, 5 seconds away.
Oh, smoke up. Fly's
Really
gonna
needs
reveal
to make
himself, but
it.
Karka's in a
Radiant's
beautiful
bottom
spot.
tower
He's gotta be
is
careful he
under
doesn't get clipped from the Ravage as well, and he will! Maybe they can burst through the Drow Ranger! The Global Silence doesn't prevent the damage, as Somnus instantly popping the BKB. JT's in trouble now as well. Kiting the fight further and further down. Do they have the damage to go through the BKB? They do not. But hey, guess what? Roche is up, and Elephant, after the pickoff, should be able to walk inside the pit for free.
Oh, no, no, no. I mean, I was thinking, all right, he's in a pretty decent position here on Kaka, but again, we were talking about it at the start of the game. How are you going to be able to kill this Drow Ranger? You get on top of her and you drop the Ravage. That is it. That is the way that you kill her. And I feel like someone of Karka's caliber should know that. So if you got a Blink Dagger, that's what it's for, right? So that you can be further away, so that you can go into the range of the Ravage that has already gone off and get the save.
Dang. It's also started stepping to see who else he can find. I mean, Ravage being 1,250 range can make it very... Oh, Emo wanting to pick up the DD. We'll be able to kill off FY. Maybe Lotus Orb actually gets rid of the silence. Emo's popping a BKB for this. FY will die. They got the damage to the crits. Again, no BKB. Pierce. Oh my god, that's way too close. Like,
Man,
you
Kaka
kill him?
nearly killed him. By using the ice shards, pushing him down onto the low ground, enabling him to attack, nearly ended up killing him. That's crazy.
Tower is under attack.
The cojones on that man to go for that play with how close he was to almost dying.
Has fallen.
They are not connected now on Radiant. Ravage on cooldown once again. Emo looking to start through on Eurus, but gotta keep in mind he's got the Aegis. Fly also leading the charge. Burst not coming through there at the moment. They can pop through the silence. Fly is in a bit of trouble here,
Taking a
but look
lot
at the
of
crits.
damage.
Eurus, he can't lifesteal through it. He's also popped the BKB on the first life summon. Blink on top of the backline. The double silence on top of Fly. The global silence, however, preventing any more follow-up damage, but they still can't get the snowball fast enough. They'll lose Fly, but still with the vortex on the backline. Emo locking in 2, potentially 3 as well. The blood zone active has to be clutch here for Emo. He's back to safety up on the high gun, but JT, can he have the same fate again? Somnus, the double silence, blink back sonic wave. He'll kill off the Tusk, but not JT, the Timber. Too survivable. The raid boss on JT, so difficult to kill off.
They do end up getting the Drow Ranger, which I'm kind of surprised about. They were able to chase him. So much damage being pumped into that Luna. It just shows how important it is to just get on top of that Drow Ranger, disable the marksmanship, make sure that she's not able to sit back and get those crits coming through from the Silver Edge. I can't think of too many better heroes. Like, of course, you're coming up against, you know, the Kraken Shell, but I mean, the Luna, if you're able to get the Silver Edge proc onto her, no
Radiant's middle
Moonglaze,
tower
no
is
Luna
under
Blessing.
attack.
That is a heavy reduction in DPS.
Invisibility.
And you see, she's kind of recognized that her DPS is a bit lacking. My only worry with her now going Aghanims is that still the BKBs have been big issues. So we'll see. But
Is it a situation where you're just going in really deep, having the Queen of Pain tank up a lot of the damage? I know it's not necessarily what you want to do, but I don't think you can afford to have a Tidehunter go in and waste a Ravage. I feel like it has to be the Quad.
Zip.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
What's he done?
he was trying to. It's the pesky Hoodwink. He should zip and place 2 sentries down bottom and trying to catch up the Hoodwink. It's just the new treat.
Speaking of
Radiant
Emo, he's going
structures
into
are
a
fortified.
Refresher Orb.
Okay, that's a lot of mana.
Radiant's middle tower has been
The
denied.
region's nice.
Always, always what
The 12 mana regen. What's he up to at the moment? 46. Is active 250? How much is the act? 300. Okay.
It's a lot.
Okay. Have we? Oh my. I mean, the net worth is pretty much dead even in the graph regard. Experience at 60. So the win probability 67% favored IG, but this game, it feels like it might just slow down a little bit as we wait for the next Roshan. Potential 25s. Luna went for her Luna Blessing damage. Didn't go for the global Luna Blessing though, so we will see the extra beam damage when she completes the Aghanims. In fact, Eurus actually switched off for the Satanic. Any other 25s that we should keep tabs on?
I mean, Drow's getting very close to hers. I think she just had a tome delivered, so... I mean, you're standing in this area. Oh, they're still going to go for it pre-25 on the Drow. You're so close, and the creeps were just spawning. And you're very much on your own right now on the Drow.
Pops the smoke again, jumping in, but a great timing on the Yule Scepter. Very awkward start to the fight, but look like Yang. Oh, he's prowling here. He wants to jump. They've been able to catch him out. Oh my god, 130 of his health just shrunk down, but now the Timber Saw again. We saw
That's
it
a heavy
yesterday.
commitment.
Too heavy on the Timber Chain in. They'll drop
That's the
everything
real
though. Ravage, Eclipse, Sonic Wave, along with some BKBs to kill off JT. No messing around from Elephant.
And they used nothing then on IG's side. So if they wanted to, they could make a buyback play and try and go back into this. As we go past the 3-minute Roshan respawn timer.
We've been seeing a lot of Storms go for this Overload attack bounce. You're still a fan of it? Because really felt like the
Radiant are
Auto
scanning.
Remnant was the pretty cookie cutter for a while until this talent did get implemented.
I think when you could provide overload to your allies as well, I think it was much more heavy into the attack bounce for overload. But I mean, they're not in a position right now where they're defending their base, right? They're still on the offensive.
Radiant?
And he's been able to pick
But
up
they've
the
smoked
Aghanim
up,
shot.
Yang. It doesn't have the Ravage. Blink on the higher gun. They have the Silver's Edge popping again. Yang. I mean, these offlaners thinking they're tankier than what they are.
Gems on the deck.
Snatch and grab from
Picking it up on
Firefly.
Firefly.
Wait, they're looking to fight still? Eurus, so much damage on Karka with the glaze, but now Emo's got to be careful as well. Half health, meanwhile Somnus instantly on top of the backline. They're trying to get rid of Oli in the fight. They're able to do so successfully, and now they've cut down the supports. They can target through Firefly as well. Oh wow, they do force the buyback on Yang, but man, what a fight. They just kind of crumble on the high ground there from IG.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what the hell happened there. I was looking for 1 second saying, all right, Silencers, he's getting rid of the vision on the high ground, and then you've just got 2 people instantly getting melted as they dive into Elephant. And, well, with all that time that they spent between things, it's only about 30 seconds until you're going to have Eclipse and Ravage again.
Emo, massive vortex. The Queen of Pain's falling ever so low. Do they have the massive amount of buybacks that come through? However, the Lotus Orb Snowball actually allows Somnus to reposition. Now Emo's gonna fall. He's still got a buyback. Fresh Menopause now to play with. Maybe he can zip all the way in the back line. Eurus, what's his positioning? They kicked him. Oh.
All right, there's the value. There's the value that we were hoping for.
Wait,
The blink kick.
did they? It's still on cooldown. Yeah, they did. Okay. Holy, he got pushed so far away. Oh, Karka? Oh, scouting out FY. Should be able to burst him down.
Careful. He just fought
Yeah,
back.
he just down for 115 seconds. They catch out JT with the Ravage as well. Somnus has got a lot of damage here on the Queen of Pain, amplified by the Bloodlust. Just off, however, JT still so survivable.
Getting great usage out of that flicker as well, making sure that he got the debuffs off of him, then gets the Timber Chain as he's midair. He's holding on to a lot of money as well here. Just sells his magic wand. I think he's going to have a courier being sent out to finish up that sheep stick as well, so a lot more survivability for him.
And finally, this game is kind of broken out. I mean, 8,000 at 45 minutes really isn't... It doesn't feel like a lot at all. But finally, the previous highest net worth lead was just over 4K. So, things looking in Elephant's favor. So the buyback was forced out on Emo from Karka. I believe that is all that is used to buy back in. Of course, Yang did use it previously.
Blackfly's still walking around with only 5 slots. I think maybe he sold a magic wand or something? He's since been able to finish up his Skadi, which of course is really fantastic against all of these, the cores on Elephant. But still, like, the game state is still very similar. You know, it's a 7k net worth lead for Elephant, but it feels like at any point IG could just take a huge team fight and come straight back into this game.
Wait, Danog, we're seeing again no one's holding... Well, we saw yesterday the Witchbane not come into effect versus Silencer, but this time no one's holding it.
Why?
I just... Oh, JT. They don't have Ravage. So they're going to see Yang instantly as the smoke pops. I have to, like, they may just...
Regeneration.
It's new, it's still fresh patch. Have to imagine that... I mean, what could be better? Spider Legs is great for Yang to help out with his positioning. Enables his jump. Even Aesthetic Cap is bonkers as well. We saw that on the Queen of Pain, who is holding the Spirit Prism. So the Spell Prism makes a lot of sense with the cooldown reduction. But we saw in yesterday's 70-minute thriller where the Aesthetic Cap for a while was enough to keep the Queen of Pain alive through kind of the mid game.
I'm not sure if the Witchbane passive works on glaive bounces. That would be kind of nutty.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
But everyone else seems to be holding like the item that's best for them right now on Elephant. You know, you've got a telescope on the Ogre. You've got more range with the Psychic Headband on the Hoodwink. Spider Legs, like you mentioned, so value for this Tide Hunter. I want to see him get into his level 25 as well.
Radiant. They smoked up. Emo's not there at the moment, but he's going to TP to the tier 3 tower up top. I don't know if you want to start on JT. Okay.
You got that
Wait, they're still leading up the high ground. Yang, they straight drop the Ravage on top of the Drow Ranger again. Firefly will get brought down, but Emo with the backline. Look at the chaos he's able to create. They're going to blink, continue to hunt. Emo is falling out of medic here. The zippers enable him to get back to safety. Firefly, he brought back straight on top of the middle. Now with the Aghanim's Eclipse going to work here. Firefly falling low still. They're on top of the storm. No buyback available. Firefly just brought back as well with the BKB drop. They've got the detection. He's down. That should be all she wrote. Radiant can push at such an incredible rate with the Luna. JT, the sole survivor. He'll cut down FY. Maybe he can waste as much time as possible. You see Luna is trying to get the mid-wave pushed in, and they had enough. There's no way they can defend. Invictus Gaming tapping out 48 minutes in, and Elephant taking a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, that buyback TP, like, it was the right decision, right? Roshan was just coming up. It felt like if they didn't win that team fight, they were just out of the game. They'd recently bought up a few of these big key items, but unfortunately, Emo, just prior to that, had used all of his mana, and he was just slowly kiting them towards where the Drow was TPing in. So, you know, it might have been Emo getting away, but it would have cost the Drow the second life, and if your Drow's dead, the game is just over. And it was just another perfect use of that Blink Ravage by the Tide Hunter. Yang fulfilled his role to perfection. I have to say, Firefly's positioning a couple of times there was not on point. You know, you don't want to be standing in there on the front lines, especially when you've got a Timber Sword. You know, he's the one that should be standing there. I feel like they put a lot of faith into Karka, but there were a couple of times where the saves weren't on point, and as a result, Firefly dies 9 times, and that's a 2-0 victory to Elephant.
And what a series victory as well to have, because their first series they actually got 2-0 by RNG. So to kind of come back, of course, TI team, they're still incredibly confident, but just experimenting things on the new patchy has to feel great for Elephant. And wow, I mean, we saw just late game Tidehunter feels like this hero continues to reign supreme. They were just able to drop the Ravage. The solo fault was there. We put so much emphasis on our past 2 days now of the supports having this survivability and mitigating this initial jump and wasting these big ultimates. And unfortunately, this game, Kaka wasn't able to provide that with the Tusker, and all on Elephant with how they were able to start these fights, burst that key component down, and then they could look to reset and go further and further to get more kills. What a series we had though. 2-0s for our 4th day of the group stages.
I'm yet to be convinced by this Ags. I gotta say, Tusk Ags, no. Just get a Solar Crest. Just get a Solar Crest. It just feels like it's so much better for survivability. It's great for damage. It gives you, some mana sustain for the middle of these team fights. Hell, even movement speed to be able to take out some towers a little bit quicker. I don't know. It feels a little memey to me, and thankfully it gets punished again. So hopefully, if that happens 1 or 2 more times, it's just gonna stop.
Yeah, again, I don't know if there's something that they're seeing a lot through scrims, of course, because we don't have that information. I don't know if there's been plays made through those backdoor games that is just popping off and they're trying to experiment, or even just experimenting in a tournament, which often the beautiful thing about China is you have these constant third-party tournaments that are your official playgrounds in a way, a little bit more on the line where you can have the have kind of the air around you of a competitive atmosphere and instead of just the scrims and when you're trying stuff. And so far we haven't seen it work. I want to see anything be able to work, anything be versatile, because I'm a huge fan of having this extra capability, or maybe that could be the thing to turn you around in a TI game. Who knows? So they're trying out now. Fortunately for Invictus Gaming, hasn't worked for them here in this game. Overall though, what a cracker series to end the night. A 2-0 victory for Elephant here to take down Invictus Gaming. And now tomorrow we're going to have Asta Ares versus Invictus Gaming to kick us off, and then Asta versus Elephant as well to close out the night. We'll be starting same time for the Imba TV iLeague Season 2, and we'll see you all there.